Yo, what's going on YouTube? In today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that are gonna make you question everything. Yo, what is this? What didn't came into our world? Oh, snap.
Get y'all ass in here and sit down. Now, what we got here is two little creatures that was caught on somebody's security cam walking through somebody's driveway. But they up to something. Look at them, shorter than the goddamn tires. And then one of them is getting ready to shoot some sort of light into the sky. See what he did? Now, I think it's some sort of a flare to either call backup in or to let wherever they came from know that they're done doing what they're doing. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. But what are these things, y'all? They're shorter than the fucking tires. These are not kids. Are they gnomes? Are they duendes? I mean, are they elves? What are they? And what is he shooting in the goddamn sky? I don't know. Somebody tell me what they think. Get your ass out of here.
Whoa. American company Clone Robotics unveils the first bipedal android with biomechanical muscles featuring 1,000 artificial muscles and 500 sensors. Nah, man. I do not need to see no androids like this moving and having bipedal android biomechanical functions. I do not need to see that. Look at it moving. Yo, we got a chopper chasing the orbs, the D-Orbax. Yo, what was that?
Didn't get no sleep last night, I'm late. What time will tell? Yo, said if you love me, why would you do it?
A radically new space vehicle called the Ionocraft, which could be equally useful in communications, defense, or radar, is demonstrated in New York in scale model by its inventor, Major Alexander de Seversky. The bizarre-looking flying machine, which was 6 years in development, gets its power to move and to stay aloft some 60 miles above sea level from ionic emissions generated by electric impulses. It can travel several hundred miles per hour. The downdrafts of steam in the demonstration illustrate the propelling ionic emissions. Electrical potential will be provided by airborne solid-state electronic means.
Look, we got the sun, the local sun, y'all. It's local. Because what else would that be?
My baby is freaking out because of this tree.
Oh, snap. That's like an eyeball or something. It's looking dead at
I don't
him.
even know how he even seen this. But, yeah.
That literally looked like an eyeball, didn't it?
Saturated fat, which is things like corn oil, safflower oil, peanut oil, soybean oil. You can lower your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 30%. It's similar to
I don't know about all that, y'all. Whoa.
I saw the words morbidly obese.
stay away from the seed oils, yo.
I gotta rewind this really quick. Because what did she just do? Somebody please tell me what this is. Levi and I are sitting in here watching this preschool circle time because he likes watching little kids.
Wait, what?
What? And then she just starts doing this. What's happening? I'm so confused.
Candace Owens might be in a lot of trouble, but I don't think she cares. So we all know that Candace Owens is saying that the French president is married to a woman that's a man. And that woman, that's a man that he's married to, is his father.
Crazy
And of
work.
course, I know you're looking the same way I was looking, like how? But let me tell you something. Candace Owens has done so much research on this. And like I said in my last video, she is very, very convincing. And what's making me think that everything that she's saying is real is how Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is acting. So allegedly, he made her an offer, a $5 million offer, to stop talking. And of course, you know Candace did not and will not take that money. Also, there are people saying that there has been threats. Candace has said there has been threats, but still, whatever information she has, she said she's dropping it continuously. Now let me say, allegedly, she's saying that this man is married to his father. Now, as sick as that sounds, she says she has some more information. This is sick, man. I'm out.
Remember the
Crazy.
recent ISIS shooting?
Mm-hmm.
And remember the one from 8 years ago and what they said about black people.
The gunman was in there with us, and he actually made a call to 911 from in there. Everybody could hear who was in the bathroom who survived, could hear him talking to 911, saying that the reason why he's doing this is because he wants America to stop bombing his country. And from that conversation from 911, he pledged his allegiance to ISIS, then spoke to us directly in the bathroom. He said, "Are there any black people in here?" I was too afraid to answer, but there was an African-American male in the stall where most of my body was, majority of my body was, had answered. And he said, yes, there are about 6 or 7 of us. And the gunman responded back to him saying that, you know, I don't have a problem with black people. This is about my country. You guys suffered enough. And he made a statement saying that it wasn't about black people.
Do you see?
That's crazy though. He said he ain't got no problems with the black folks, huh? What's that tell y'all?
That news story recently that was it happened in Spain. This woman was doing a experiment, and she was going to be living in a cave underground for 500 days.
500?
The only human interaction she had was, I think it was like weekly or monthly visits from doctors just to check on her, and that was it. And they wouldn't update her on anything. They wouldn't tell her what day it was. They would not do anything. And so she laid under there. There's videos of her doing like workouts and exercises and stuff, and vlogging, pretty much just telling her experience.
Right?
No sun at all. 500 days. Then they pull her out, and she's like almost resisting because she thinks it's only been, what she's been tracking, only been 120, 150 days. She only believed it only had that many days had passed.
She just lost complete
lost time, everything. I mean, imagine your sleep cycles, how messed up they would be. Absolutely terrifying. Think about being alone in a cave for 500 days.
Nope.
Do you see those cave exploring videos, like when they're crawling?
We talked about this before on the podcast, but it gives me so much anxiety. Have you seen those videos?
Ancient giant tree symbolism, huh? The mountains are definitely the remains from giant trees. Just go look at them.
And down here.
Yeah, I just came from Asia.
Where were you?
Thailand.
You like it?
Love it.
Dude, Thailand's.
I love it.
This is wild.
What are you guys getting? Can I order now, please? You go first.
Can I get the Shangu Coco? Changu Coco. Changu.
Why? Out of town, you ordering things that you can't even pronounce. Only out of town you order things you can't even pronounce.
Period.
You're good.
How about I broke my toenail?
Oh, shit.
Me too.
Yeah, we want that coconut sauce. Yeah,
coconut sauce.
Who is that?
Yeah,
That's like you.
That's my little brother.
Y'all notice anything weird there?
Wow, that looks great. Thank you. What you want in a pancake is a...
So hold on before this plays. As they are not joking. Totally normal stuff going on here. Please do your homework. These people are not who you think they are. Never forget who these people are. It's happening before our eyes right now.
have the consistency of young human flesh.
It's spongy, it has life to it.
You're with a guy with brightly colored undergarments, and you got soft human flesh in front of you. You're in a weird place.
I'm looking forward to this. This is really, really going to be a great pancake.
Wait, what?
Santa Claus.
This is Santa Claus, the flying reindeers, and this is the ancient Roman god Saturn or Saturno, flying winged snakes. Sometimes he was depicted with a long white beard and a staff, and sometimes he was depicted with a scythe because he was the god of harvest and also the god of time. In ancient Rome, the people celebrate during December a festival called Saturnalia. Some people had many fun because they had enough to eat and to drink, and other people were not so happy during Saturnalia because they were given as a gift to the god Saturno. In other civilizations, the name for Saturno was Molech or Kronos or Kajamanu.
I have personally seen with my own eyes the curvature of the Earth.
Is he lying?
Is it the circle vision of your sight? Is it the circle limit of your sight? Because obviously the limit of our eyesight.
I was very lucky, and I went on Concorde. Okay. So I was very lucky. I went on Concorde. So about 60,000 feet. You could clearly see the curvature of the Earth.
What's the shape of the windows? Actually, science.
It was the shape of the windows.
No, I didn't say that. What was the shape of the windows is what I said.
Like an oval?
Scientists themselves tell us that you have to be 50 miles up to be able to see the curvature of the globe. A plane, around an average commercial plane, travels up to 7 miles, which is around 33,000 feet, which I wasn't. You were about 10 or 12 miles, so it's still, again, way below what scientists themselves tell us.
Oh, I've got so many questions. We're going to have to end this.
Look at him. Look.
Flock cameras are the main thing that law enforcement uses now to catch criminals. That's what it is. As clear as I can say it. What we'll do is I'll put a picture of the flock camera on this so that you'll see it. But they're everywhere. Once you see.
Anybody ever seen these little cameras? I sure be seeing them, man. That's crazy. They out here just tracking us.
See this thing, you're going to realize that you see them everywhere. It is a camera that is positioned to capture your license. That's what a flock camera is. But these cameras capture more than your license. They can capture the interior of your vehicle as you drive by these cameras, especially the positioning of the camera. And it's legal. And so what happens is this camera captures your tag. And when it captures your tag, it's able to detect where your vehicle has been anywhere in the United States where there are flock cameras. If you're in Georgia and you travel to New York, every time your vehicle tag gets captured by a flock camera, it is entered into a database and they are able to track it.
What about Pam cooking spray? Everybody knows what Pam is. It's some kind of little healthy oil with compressed air that you spray it and it gets on your pan. It's not compressed air. And they don't tell you, but it's butane and propane. People don't understand that they are spraying lighter fluid on their children's hot cake.
Yo, he ain't lying. And I'm going to tell you one more, right? For all my bald brothers out there, right? All the ones that got to shave. Listen, I looked at my shaving cream ingredients and sure enough, propane is in that mug. And you know what I started thinking? I'm like, man, I probably made myself even more bald by shaving using this shaving cream because I'm putting propane on my head and shaving it with a razor. How is that remotely smart at all?
And the worst part about it is not all of it dissipates.
It's honestly probably why people are recommending to get one of these instead. I mean, just like the PAM, you can spray it, and unlike the PAM, you can go ahead and click this lever and pour as much as you want. These have already sold out twice this month, so if you see the link right here, they might be in stock.
Ain't no real man gon' kiss no man. You're playing with a person's mind. You're manipulating them. You acting like, or if I kiss you, we gonna get close.
Hey, I'm not the person he kissed. That's how I roll. Well, that's nobody else, man. We roll like that.
We roll like that, huh?
Okay, we just roll like that. That's my son. I raised him, you heard?
I'm gonna leave that one alone. That's baiting, and what I said earlier. That's a Kuma. Him and Puffy just alike. Think about it. It's not far-fetched. It fucks over all lay artists. How can Juvenile be lower than motherfucking Birdman? Birdman got about 3-4 million. Juvenile barely reach 1 million on Instagram. He is the star. When Baby first came out, Baby had a record called Need a Bag of Dope. Google it. He been trying to be a rapper. They wasn't feeling him. We already did the groundwork, nigga. We sold all the records.
Now we finna see what America is like with a motherfucking bully in that bitch. Niggas is watching the news like it's the playoffs. Time he wake up, he just signed another fucked up piece of paper. Wait till they see this when they wake the fuck up, since they want to talk.
He ain't lying, is he?
You was watching the news, had your breakfast blunt, and it scared you and your breakfast blunt. Take your ass to real jail then. The president's supposed to think of something, then talk about it with the Senate and the Congress, pass a bill, and then do it. Trump don't give a fuck. Trump. Did they say anything about niggas yet? We got one more day then, one more day. We don't need no more problems. We know once they start coming for Hispanics, it's gonna be a bunch of light-skinned niggas stuck at the border. Niggas just say, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't even speak Spanish. We know if they start coming after y'all, we next anyway. Don't worry, Hispanic people. We will open up that underground railroad so quick. We got the blueprints. Black people, we got enough problems in America.
The Dana Hotel, 660 North State Street. We walk into the hotel. They say we can't check in for another hour. Cool. We go down to the bar. We just gooling sipping. I used to wear a cross chain. I used to wear a silver cross chain every day. We get to the bar. This white dude, blonde hair, blue-eyed dude. He got a little suit, and she got a suit on. You could tell it was a tailor suit. But I noticed his cufflinks. I only seen them cufflinks one time at the Hermes store with a client. I knew them cufflinks was like $15,000 for both. I'm like, damn, look at this man. I'm like, this dude got paper. But he got a smug look at me though. Mm. So I'm like, man, you want to get a drink? He said, I wouldn't have a drink with you. I'm like, what the fuck? So, but it was something weird about him though, because when I got close to him, I felt like I was in front of somebody who was like, I don't know, bro. Like it made the hair, like it gave me a weird feeling that I never felt before. So I'm like, man, I think to myself, hold on, where's my gun at? Is it in my book bag? Well, I got it on me. I'm thinking this. As I'm thinking about my gun, this man say, you wouldn't dare pull something like that out in a place like this. But I thought this.
Mm.
And then he responded to me based off what I thought. And Dugas said, what the fuck is he talking about? I say, nigga, something up with dude. He said, yeah, I don't like him, Gordo. I'm like, right. So I get my drink and he just standing there looking at us like we was crazy. And once we saw him though, it hit us like, damn, we seen him in Vegas. And we seen him at the airport. And we seen him at the chicken and waffle place. So I'm not gonna say that I met the devil, but we met one of them. Oh, bro, we met somebody. We met somebody. You know, The Tesla have a biometric camera on it. If you take it down to the graveyard, it's gonna show people walking around. When you look out the window, you ain't gonna see nobody though. Why is that camera picking up a biometric human vibe?
Mhm.
Why is it showing up on the
That
camera?
is crazy, ain't it?
You know, the little 3 times we went out with the exorcist, with the father, you know, man. A little lady grabbed my hoodie and pulled me so close to her face. There's no way that little lady could pull me like that. And there's no way she could know the details about our life how she knew. I was raised in the church, you know what I'm saying? I studied theology in college. I do believe there is an afterlife, and I do believe that there is I'm not gonna say heaven, I'm not gonna say hell, but I will say that you need to have your beliefs right when you die. Because if it's not, you can get stuck in the middle. And I'll leave it at that on bro.
What y'all think he saw or who he saw? Talk about, you wouldn't dare pull that out on me in public. Could you imagine somebody just reading your mind? Like, that would trip me out. I'd probably I don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't even, I'd be scared to think.
On Cabotage.
Cabotage.
And that I was like, oh, okay, let's look into this. What is Cabotage?
This is what fascinates me, and this is what I heard you talking about on YouTube a while back now, and this really fascinates me.
Yeah, and well, it blew my mind that I'm like, okay, well, I looked everywhere for words that start with CAB. Why did I not find this one? And what I have found is most of these terms that are used in maritime law, you won't find in a dictionary, and you won't find online if you're looking. You have to specifically look for maritime law terms.
Right.
And a lot of these words that they use in maritime law, we use normal day to day, but we have a completely different meaning. I like to talk about, just as an example of having 2 words that we use all the time, but they have different meanings, and maybe one of them is kind of obscured. I really like this one, and I've never told anybody about this one yet. But
Okay.
the word great, right? We know that great means someone that we look up to or someone magnificent. Magnus, which is actually my son's name, means great. So those kind of go together. But there's another, and then we have things like the Great Fires. Like every city had a great fire. Well, why are we calling them great? Because they were big, they were destructive.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And then we have, and grand also kind of goes in this. So great and grand, because we've got the Grand Canyon, and you've got different, there's the Great Lakes, and I'm just talking about stuff in the US, but you'll see those terms a lot in different geographical things or different things that happen in history. There's Alexander the Great and things like that. And,
and we refer to World War I sometimes as the Great War.
Yeah.
And you're quite right. There's nothing great about it. Not using the word as we use it.
Well, I'm going to tell you why they use that, because it's a hidden reason. But if you look at genealogy, you have a grandmother, and then you have a great grandmother, and a great great grandmother.
Yeah.
And that's going this way on, if you're here, you get grandma, then your great grandma, and your great great grandma. And if you go this way, they're your cousins. Well, this is your cousin once removed and twice removed. So the terms great and grand mean one generation removed from. So I think that the second meaning of great is you have removed history from one generation, or removed the understanding by one generation.
That's good. I read that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. Shit, that's a mind fuck, isn't it? That really is.
So the Great Fires, it's like they're laughing at you. They're saying, look, we took away your history. Now you don't know. So then one generation removed from you.
And if like the Great Fire of London, 1666, if Anatoly Fomenko is right, and they added 1,000 years onto our timeline, then that was 666. That was the year it happened. If he's right, and that that tallies up, doesn't it? It sort of reinforces the theory.
Yeah. So if you start looking into the terms used in maritime admiralty law, you're going to find a whole lot of words that you use for something else. And it's super fascinating. And each one you got to kind of pull apart and think about and see how, because they're not all going to be as direct as great, the word great, but
yeah.
So cabotage law is, and I'm just going to read it right off of Wikipedia here because it's just easy.
Yeah, I just got to say this. I randomly got the dang Frosted Flakes song stuck in my head. They're more than good. They're great.
Here that way. Maybe if I can get it to come up. No? Okay. All right. I didn't save. Cabotage law has to do with it was originally for shipping, but it now encompasses not just water shipping, but air travel and land travel. And it has to do with nation or country A coming to the port of nation B and how goods can be unloaded and then transported through the country. So those are cabotage laws. So to conclude, and that's like a really basic, it gets really in depth and confusing, but basically it's how a country can ship stuff to another country and then through that country.
This is a term people just won't have heard of before.
No, I'd never heard of it. No. And it's just something you don't think about, unless you're in that industry, because.
So is it possible then that the Cabbage Patch kids or Cabbage Patch babies, that is to do with they're called that because that is to do with the trafficking and the movement of babies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think. Another part of the hidden symbolism is that
Clever.
so if we look back and we're looking at the first category of these postcards, we've got cabbages. So we've got to receive or accept cabotage. So the man with the striped socks who's farming them, he's the nation A, and then the lady in red who's receiving them, she's nation B or Lady Liberty. So it's so it's like all the immigrants that came over. Also, these postcards were popular between 1900 and 1920.
Yeah.
They depict a time prior to that. So they're depicting like the 1850s, 60s,
yeah,
the 1900s. So they're from a time sooner than when they were popular. So it's almost like they're saying, this is what we did. See?
Yes, of course.
So then you have the babies being plucked out of the water. Well, that's cabotage because they're being taken out of the water. So that's why there's a lot of water symbolism. And then being moved across in trains, that's just transport.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose there might be a little bit of a connection there to the orphan train movement.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
Possibly. I know that happened later, but
yeah.
I mean, it maybe it's just a coincidence, but there's definitely some synergy there.
Yeah. So that's what I have as far as the Cabbage baby postcards. But then I know that you want to talk about cloning or the potential for human cloning.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we've spoken about this before, and like I said to you, I think I've gone so far into it that I can't not see this as a cloning exercise. But every day's a school day, and I these are theories, and you've obviously you've got my book, and I say throughout that, and often on posts, that this is just what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think clones are real? Do you think they can like make a doppelganger of you or me? Like you go outside, you see somebody that looks just like you, you're like, what the heck? I'm just saying, it's possible. A lot of people say I look like everybody that's bald with a beard. I got 1,000 doppelgangers.
So where are you with the whole cloning? Is it? Do you think there's something in this? Do you think that those Cabbage Patch babies were cloned, or where do you think they came from?
Well, I have not personally. Because I haven't seen a photograph of a cloning facility, and I haven't seen any paperwork that says anything that would make me think that there's cloning. I'm skeptical about it. I know I'm not sitting here saying like, no, that didn't happen. That's insane. But I'm trying to look at what we have, what we can look at logically to see if it's a possibility. So, I mean, I ran the numbers as far as like the population in 1900.
Clones are probably real.
Hey, did y'all hear about that dude that remember the drones that was all in the sky in Jersey in like the East Coast area? Did y'all hear about the dude who caught a orb? Like his content keep coming across my FYP recently. So I go to his page, and you know the little green orbs that everybody was seeing up in the sky. So he said that he was singing, right? Because I guess he's an artist, he's a musician, and he said he was singing, and the orb had came close. So he said he was just playing, like he wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm finna really catch it. And he said he got a bag, and he actually caught it, bro. So he caught it. He caught the orb, and he put it inside of like a Converse bag. I mean, a Converse box, shoebox.
Yeah, that shit blinking. You see what the fuck going on?
Oh, snap.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, hell no.
And he said it started making him nauseous. But then he said it's not like a physical entity. It's like a green smoke type situation. But like, it's a green smoke situation that looks like it might be able to form, you know, like actual, I don't know, like a thick, I don't know how to explain it, bro. But he said it's making him nauseous. He put clips. He won't show it because he said the phone, like whatever this entity is, it won't let him record. Like, and we all know that allegedly stuff like that do be messing with technology. Like, if you try to film a situation like that, your technology go crazy. So then he was in his homegirl car. I guess she was giving him a ride somewhere, and he had the box, and it was messing with the radio. Like, it was making the radio signal go off.
I put the fucking orb by the thing. It got the radio tripping the fuck out.
Yo.
That shit crazy. Oh, maybe it's trying to give me a signal. What the fuck?
Who's that fucking box?
Yo.
Get that shit out my car, please.
He said that people been following him, and he got footage on his page. Like, I'm gonna link his page. Go to his page. He said somebody been following him in like a marked black truck or something, and they was asking him like, oh, do he know where to find some Converse shoes? Think about it. He said, y'all been following me for like, he said, I seen y'all spin a block like 5 times. They were like, no, we just looking to buy some Converse shoes. What he got in that Converse box? He was like, I don't know nothing about no Converse shoes. Think about it. He got that orb that he been putting online in a Converse box, and that random truck been following him, talking about they want to buy a Converse box, or they looking for some Converse shoes. Make it make sense. I mean, he haven't posted since like January 24th or something, but yesterday he won't post like a physical face of him. It's just like posts, like, you know, the little written posts. That's all, bro. Tell me what y'all think. Go to his page and come back and tell me what y'all think.
Yo, that's crazy though. I did see that video, right? I didn't know what was going on. It was like 2 guys in a black Durango, and they pulled up on him, and then they sped off as soon as he said, I'm live right now recording y'all. As soon as he said that, they sped off. Y'all think he really caught an orb in a Converse sneaker box?
All right, watch this. You guys are not going to believe this. Look, let me get my seatbelt on. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Start my truck. All right, now I'm going to turn my camera to the right so you guys will... No. It'll need to go to the left. I'll turn my camera to the left, and I'll pull out, show you exactly what I'm talking about. Turn this heat down that way. There's... That truck's behind me. There's storage containers on the left side of the road that they're being shipped in. This is not a conspiracy theory, guys. I'm not making any of this up. Look, see this guy right here in his car? He just left there. He's getting gas on his way out. But I'm going to come up here and I'm going to turn left. You'll see there's a giant dinosaur up here and a bunch of storage containers. I'll pause it because there's a little bit of traffic so you guys don't have to sit through it. All right, traffic's on. I'm able to go. Here we go. Now make this left and look directly to your left, right here. See the black tarp and storage containers and everything? Right there. I'm getting ready to go past them. And there's a sign out front. You guys see that? See what I'm talking about? I can't make this stuff up, guys.
What they sell?
Over there is the Lincoln Memorial. Over there, students, is the White House. And over there was the Jefferson Memorial.
This sucks.
Jefferson.
Can I get off the bus just for one picture?
No!
Please. We can roll this way.
Come on, gather around. Let's get this over with.
Well, now, students, J. Edgar Hoover was director of the FBI from 1924 until his death in 1972. He was a great American.
He was a fascist transvestite, and I hope he rots in hell.
What?
It's so difficult to predict the future. 99.99% of the predictions the human being had in the history about the future, all wrong.
Including that one?
Oh yeah. Only, the 0.00% of the prediction are right. They're right because by accident.
Yeah, but it's also true that 80% of statistics are false.
Yeah. So, my meaning is
Hold room. Come on, guys. It was a joke.
To me, artificial intelligence is just like people worry a lot about this today. Are those people, I call them college smartness. People like us, street smart, we never scared of that. We think it's a great fun, and we want to change ourselves to embrace it.
I don't know, man. That's like famous last words.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about something fun. I admire that you want to go on the Mars. Shall we go to the Mars?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not interested in Mars. I just came back from there, so I'm more interested on the Earth, the things, what's going on happening here. So, why you're so curious about the Mars?
Well, this is the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth that it's been possible to extend life beyond Earth. And we should try to do this as quickly as possible. That's my view.
Good. It's so difficult to secure the future of the Earth, but we can secure the future of next 100 years. It's great to send 1 million people to the Mars, but we have to care about the 7.4 billion people on the Earth. How can we make the world more sustainable? And I'm not that fan of the Mars because I think it's easy to go to the Mars. When you go on the top of the building, just the one step you go to Mars, but you will never be able to come back.
Yeah,
so that's my view.
That's not how it works, though.
And also,
don't do it.
I hate to go to the Himalayas too. I mean, when you climb on I think someday I will go there when the elevator is ready. I will go there and have a look. I hate the word AI called artificial intelligence. I call it Alibaba intelligence.
Yeah. Might end up being true. You never know.
You want to pick up another topic?
Sure.
Yeah. Jobs?
I pick up jobs.
Jobs for life. Jobs.
Sure, anything. Sure. Yeah.
So what new jobs will be created because of the AI, or has the change already started? Why shouldn't we have a lot of jobs? I think people should work 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. So that's my view about jobs. Don't worry about it. We will have jobs.
Yeah. I think that, over time, AI will make jobs kind of pointless. We're going to have to figure out this Neuralink situation. Otherwise, we will be left behind. It's very important we do this quickly. I think we don't have much time.
We don't have much time for what?
We don't have much time to solve the Neuralink.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's just, man, you think of like technology and technology awareness. If there was like a topological map of technology awareness, it's mostly flat with a few short buildings and then some very tall spires. And unless you're on that very tall spire, it's not obvious what the topology is.
Yeah, I never worry about the things that I cannot solve. I let other people to solve it. If nobody can solve it, just let it be. That's my life. Don't worry about the machines. For sure, we should understand one thing, that man can never make another man. Computer is a computer. Computer is just a toy. Man cannot even make a mosquito. So we should have a confidence. Computer only have chips. Man have the heart. So I never, in my life, especially last 2 years when people talk about AI, say human being will be controlled by machines, I never think about that. I think it's impossible, right? It's impossible because human beings, they are different. Machines are invented by human beings. And according to the science, right, humans can never create another animal that is smarter than humans. Especially when you have so many smart people, it's impossible to make another smart people.
I very much disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. The most important mistake I see smart people making is assuming that they're smart. They're not.
Yeah. So give me example what the animals or things that a human being made that is smarter than human beings.
Well, computers actually are already much smarter than people on so many dimensions.
Okay. Yeah, my view is that computer may be clever, but human beings are much smarter.
Yeah, definitely not.
Clever is very academic, is knowledge driven. Smarter is experience driven. Computer is smart, is clever, but it's human being. We invented the computer. I never see a computer invented a human being. Just like 100 years ago, when human beings created cars. So human beings say, I can run faster than a car. It's impossible. It's only stupid people to compete with a car who run faster. So I told those guys, they are very sad. So, computer will be smarter than human beings because computer can play chess better. I think you are stupid to compete with that. Don't do that. Thank you, Elon. Nice talking to you.
This interview was quite special, and so I wonder whose side are you on? Is it the side of Elon Musk, who's more into the future, AI, traveling between planets? Or maybe are you on the side of Jack Ma, who would rather focus more on our planet and the present? Night fam, comment down below, and I hope I will see you tomorrow. Come back at the same time to see another video.
I want to get the answers. Everyone's getting up. You can't with one.
What research you got for us?
Notice the fire and all that. Those tasting with roots, you didn't do it.
Crazy what happens when you just do a little research, right?
Has anybody seen that video that's going viral right now? That huge ass UFO that appeared in Austin, Texas?
Mm-mm.
That video is actually insane. How you can hear the person screaming, yelling, obviously in a state of shock. You can hear police sirens in the background. Shit's obviously popping off. Dude's outside recording what seems to be a huge ass cloud with a whole bunch of fireballs inside of it. If you haven't, then I highly recommend that you go watch that video, and I'll tell you why here in a second, but I'll tag him down below so you can do that for yourself. There's obviously something that's going on in our skies, especially over the Gulf of Mexico. But the reason why I'm asking you to go watch it is so you can go look at the comment section. Because it obviously proves that, one, people instantly believe something on the internet that they see without actually thinking outside the box. And two, how much humans are willingly deceived. All you had to do on that video was literally just look at the sound, and you could tell that that video had a sound from another video on it. Then all you had to do was look at the content creator's other videos and see that he's literally an AI expert. That video in that comment section and how many people actually believe that, especially people living in Austin, Texas, only proves one thing: that AI is literally advancing far too quickly for the human mind to be able to comprehend it. If something were to actually pop off like that, how would one really know that it's actually happening right in front of you? You probably wouldn't, and see, that's the fucking problem. I'm just saying, when there's an in quotations return, are you all of a sudden going to believe that instantly right when it's happening?
Hey, we gotta watch out for AI, y'all, for real.
What the fuck is this shit, bro? What the fuck is this shit? Why are they over a cemetery? Hey, y'all better get right with God, man. Y'all get right with God, bro. Oh my God, the cops are down there saying go back to your house, bro. Yes, come here. Look at this shit. The cops are down here saying we have to go back to our houses because they don't want us to film it. Yo, something big is finna fucking happen, bro.
So I'm just curious what the original audio is for, like where the video is for the original audio and what was really going on. I mean, I can clearly tell that that's AI, right? I don't know if anybody else can, but there's a few videos out there that are like that, right? There was like one where something was coming out from under the water and was right there, and it was literally the audio from another video. And I caught it in real time because I had seen the original video. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. It's the same audio that I heard before. So you kind of got to use your mind a little bit more now, because with AI and with people getting paid on, social media platforms, there's a lot of false information out there. So you kind of got to be able to know what's real and what's AI.
This is real life, real time. This is what I'm looking at right now. That's in the sky. Don't know what it is. It came out of nowhere, really. But this shit is so real. Excuse my language, but this is the real deal. I said I wasn't gonna believe it till I seen it, and here it is. It's huge, you guys. I'm so far away from this thing. That thing is still huge. Oh my gosh. They not lying.
Again, what do y'all think? AI or real?
Free energy. This guy, his name's Maxwell Chikumbutsu, but he's from Zimbabwe. He has created a generator that does not use any power source. So this generator basically creates free energy using frequencies from the atmosphere, and this one generator can power 300 homes. These two scientist guys went out there to test it and stuff, and they're like, yeah, it's legit. And they're like, how did you know how to build this? And he says that when he sleeps, he gets revelations and visions from God of how to create these things. He says, this is how he told me to make it, and he made it. But this dude, he's has a target on his back.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
So he's been in prison in Zimbabwe multiple times for just different things that
You're too smart.
He came to the U.S. at one point, and he was poisoned and almost died, and then fled back to Zimbabwe. He cannot get any of his patents patented because the patent, in the description, says that if it defies physics, it cannot be patented.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, hold on, wait. They do that to a lot of people. Did y'all hear about the guy that was in Michigan with the free water? He was making water from air, and he had these machines that he was placing out there, and they were sabotaging him. I haven't heard nothing about this guy, probably in some years, actually. So I need to do some research on that, see what happened. But yeah, he was making water just from the atmosphere. You got the guy who created the car that could run on water. You know, all you gotta do is put some water in it and it would drive. And you see what happened to him, poisoned. Now you got this guy who's got atmospheric energy. That's what we talk about all the time, right? How there's free energy and how we get it from the atmosphere, and that's how they did it back in the old times. We got it.
I've seen the messages from the other countries. If you haven't, stop what you're doing right now and go to the search bar. There are so many people in other countries trying to warn us and give us help. Before it's too late, type in your search bar up here or down there, whichever one. Message to the Americans. Look it up.
Dang, I ain't even looked that up yet. Anybody else looked that up yet?
Why is it Freemasons always place the East at the top of their artwork? I'm going to decode the symbolism for you. At the bottom of the painting, we have checkered board floors. This is the base. This is the beginning. Black is material. White is spiritual. The physical world is made by spirit and matter combined. This represents the beginning of the Mason's journey when he lives in illusion and identifies himself with the physical body. Now, this is why you see the checkered floor in music all the time, because they're using music to produce illusions. This is a blueprint to produce a temple, and these are the tools to create the temple. Not a physical temple, a temple within our own mind. These tools represent the tools to reconstruct our inner world, to change our belief system, limiting beliefs and mental blockages. We must build a temple in the three aspects of our consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Once we have reconstructed and built a temple of moral law and integrity and changed our belief systems within our own mind and consciousness, we can then start the journey to enlightenment. This ladder is the ladder of climbing to higher consciousness, going from the illusion of the material world up to enlightenment and understanding higher levels of reality. And no, I'm not a Freemason, I've just studied their symbols. When you can read symbolism, it will change your life. If you enjoy my content, make sure to check out my YouTube, or don't, it's completely up to you.
Revival of Wisdom. We gotta check out his YouTube channel.
Somebody spent damn near $1.4 million. It's decoded. We don't know who put this out. That's why I was on the blockchain, right? And they put this message out in China to say that these guys are using brain chips to control their employees, but they even went a step further to say all major militaries are already using brain to control population. That's pretty scary. Base stations, radio waves, and nano brain computer chips to control their citizens. Like they're saying, they're making that claim that that's happening right now.
Currently. And there's soft control and harder controls, but let's take it off of China and go global landscape. I'm old enough to seen every conspiracy theory that we were told as kids turn out to be true. And when you have a dictatorial government, because you can make the argument, even there are no citizen rights in other countries. They are the capital. The human capital is the asset to be controlled. But even if we look here in our soft controls, use of this and certain social media platforms and certain technologies is a soft form of control. So while we may not have the brain chip, I know a lot of people who spend 7-8 hours a day on social media and spend more time with social media than they do their family. So this isn't that far of a stretch if you know how China has run their regime. And if I have a plan to destroy the West and Western cultural norms by helping and forming BRICS, wouldn't it behoove me to front run Neuralink so I can have super warriors to be able to take over Africa, Mexico, and then the United States?
Now that's crazy when you think about it, right? Man, but like he said with the cell phones, we're already at that point. The cell phones give off frequencies, y'all. And the newer of the cell phone you have is probably giving off higher and more advanced frequencies to be able to control you and your thoughts and know exactly what you got going on. It's probably reading your mind. And that's crazy to even think about, right? But it probably is because it knows you more than you know you. So we are already under control. Things are getting scary.
It's just coming right back up. Like
Foam.
Let's try a great value.
Foam.
Right back up. Damn, that's crazy. Let's try this one. We want some real bread. All right.
Mom, what are you doing for real?
Because I want real bread. The nature's own. I didn't notice this until I saw it on TikTok. It's like, oh.
I had to go for the cheese.
Let's see about this Texas Giant. This is the one I like. It's just bouncing right back up too. Oh my gosh. All of these breads are foam. Nothing is real. Let's try the Wonder Bread. Oh, Wonder Bread is barely coming back up. I think we found the real bread. Wonder Bread.
Trump is going to Fort Knox. He said he wants to see the gold. Last time we had a president visit Fort Knox was in 1953, President Dwight Eisenhower, and he conducted a full audit. Last publicized event was in 2017, with the previous Secretary of Treasury, Stephen Mnuchin, alongside Mitch McConnell. It said that we have about 56% of our gold reserve in Fort Knox, which equates to about $290 billion. Dollars. That's kind of funny. For those of you that don't know, there's a lot of questions related to the US dollar today. But if you go back to the history of 1971, for why we converted from the gold standard to the currency fiat, it was because, one, the world economy was growing pretty rapidly. Two, the US dollar was more appealing and desirable as far as overvalued towards gold. And we were beginning to see inflation. But guess what? The US dollar is backed by nothing but public trust. And quite frankly, that doesn't exist anymore.
Isn't that crazy? This is the vehicle they had in the Soviet Union back in 1917. Doesn't that look like the Cybertruck?
That is the Cybertruck, ain't it? Got the Cybertrucks of the past.
This is a real thing, but they haven't done it. Scientists say diamond dust offset climate change, so they sprinkle diamond dust everywhere in the sky.
Diamond dust?
What does that do? Is it
It
just like
reflects the sun, I guess. Glitter.
That's just
weird. And it does sound like.
So what do you think of cloud seeding?
Oh,
do I even want to get that started? Well, I'm just going to tell you this. My wife Andrea and I were at Sanibel Island this past weekend. We were walking the beach. Our throats got like all weird and we started to cough and it felt like toxic. There was a mist across the beach coming in off
fog. You've just been talking about
It
this.
looked like fog, but it made us cough and hack.
Well, people have been talking about this weird, they call it fog, but they're calling it weird fog. Some of it smells weird, some of it is making people sick.
That's super
No,
strange.
we
'cause
were at
Lily just mentioned
Captiva Island, walked out on the beach, and we were there for like 10 seconds, and immediately I felt it in my throat, and I started to cough. It like went into my lungs, it made me cough. It was very strange.
I'm just getting you some diamonds, babe. Breathe in those diamonds.
Krusty, I've been meaning to ask, what are you doing on this tour?
I believe that every Jew should make a pilgrimage to Israel before he dies.
Yes, it is fitting.
Don't want to end up in hell.
Jews don't believe in hell.
No hell? Thank you, kid. You made my day.
Elon Musk were here right now, what would you tell him?
Go back where you come from.
America or
Where he came from. which is
South
not America.
Africa?
South Africa?
South Africa, right?
Oh, gotta go.
Oh, gotta go. Yo, what's going on here?
Gabe.
Oh, nah.
Quiet.
Dogs barking. And this mug coming right up the stairs.
Quiet.
Oh, nah. Tell me that ain't creepy, yo. Stopped.
Let's just say Russia has some of the craziest stories.
Wild.
Some old Earth there. But there's this lake there called Lake Baikal. And it is, I found this out, the deepest freshwater lake on Earth.
How deep?
Over 5,000 feet deep.
That's almost 2 miles.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's crazy. 5,000 feet.
Yes.
How big is it?
It's huge.
Okay.
You should look it up.
It's crazy. You could just be on a
You're going to
boat.
hate this lake even more.
Good. Let's go. But it's down there.
You're about to find out.
No.
1982.
Okay.
This is a classified document that got released to the public in 2000. Was it 2000? Yeah, 2000. And it was in the Soviet government, like a classified document. So these Soviet divers in 1982 were doing these diving routines or whatever in the lake, in Lake Baikal. And they're down, was it 52 meters or something? 100 or 50 meters, 164 feet down. And then all of a sudden, out of the depths, they said there were these 6 humanoid creatures, and they described them as wearing these tight, metallic-looking suits, 9 feet tall, and wearing like these like weird jelly helmets.
So they're just floating in the water.
They just come up as they're they're like here, and they just come up.
Scariest possible thing you could see at that moment, for sure.
And what these divers decided to do, apparently, as like a what the heck is that? They like had a net or something, and so they tried to catch one of them, and then like all these things did something to where it caused this force field and shot all these divers up to the surface like almost instantly. They all got the bends.
Oh no.
It was 7 divers. 3 of them ended up dying.
Oh my gosh.
And then the rest were basically silenced from ever speaking about what happened.
Why? Because they were so traumatized, or they were the
No, it's
bends,
classified.
Like, oh, I see.
Like so, like it was like the Soviet Union did not want anyone to know what they saw.
So who was this team? Who
just these Soviet Navy divers?
They are from the government, the Soviet government.
And they're down there, and these humanoid creatures came up, tried to catch one, and then they just like boom, got shot up to the surface.
That's terrifying. Do you think that's the first time they ever went down there?
No.
I was gonna say because that seems like a test, almost like let's send these guys down there.
There's reports even today of craft coming out of the lake, like in orbs and stuff coming out of the lake, and also people constantly disappearing around the lake, which would make sense. It's a huge lake. I mean, ginormous, and it's in Siberia. It's very remote, and it's one of the deepest lakes. It's typically frozen the good majority of the year, but apparently, I think this was a story too from the same lake. Like it's so big that they're actually able to test submarines within it. And this one submarine on their sonar picked up these objects. I think it was actually 6 objects that were coming towards them at like, they said it was like 400 miles an hour. And so they turned, and it like matched the path of the submarine.
And they're watching it on the screen.
On the sonar. It was like in a formation.
Yeah.
And they're like, go up. And so the submarine breached, right? They came up to the surface, and then they used the, what do you call it? The little
telescope thing?
I forget what it's called. The thing that they look out to see the surface. And these things just popped up out of the water and just shot off in the distance.
That's crazy. Out of a freshwater lake.
There are animals in the water that have electricity. Benjamin Franklin put a key to the sky. There are animals in the water that have electricity. Benjamin Franklin put...
What's she trying to tell us? Okay, it says Trump suggests the rising rates of autism among children could be linked to the U.S. government possibly spraying something in the air. Oh, all that diamond dust, huh? He claims other countries in Pennsylvania, Dutch, don't have this issue and remain healthy. In And Trump hints that you're going to find out something really soon. I mean, we've been saying this all along. It's like they definitely are putting something in the air. It's not, they tried to tell us it was like a contrail, right? Because of how cold it is in the sky from the planes, and it leaves a trail, but that trail is supposed to disappear. They never disappear. They stay in the sky forever. So that tells you right there, it's something else. We're gonna see something soon.
Here's the trippiest part. All right, so I had hieroglyphics in my room. Woke me up almost nightly for about a month. And I'm like, I mean, writing walls, but lit up. So I'm like, all right. So I went and I invested in blackout shades. Got everything to where there was no light in the room. And I put clothes everywhere and stuff, and just like threw stuff everywhere, like bells and different stuff. And I'm like, all right, because obviously, and then I put a Sharpie and I just chucked it off the wall. And I'm like, the room's pitch black. Yeah. I'm like, all right, this will prove to me that I can't, like, that the room doesn't light up with hieroglyphics at night. Yeah. So about a week in, wake up, full room's all lit up, hieroglyphics. I'm like,
so you feel like you're waking up, and then you're looking, and there's
I'm looking
stuff
up
on the wall.
Yeah, it's like writing, but it's like a movie. I'm sure I just saw a movie somewhere, but so I got like basically like it looks like I'm inside an Egyptian like like a pyramid. Yeah. And I got there's hieroglyphics all over the wall, and I'm like, all right, room's lit up. So I get out of bed and I walk around, and I go back in the corner and pick up the Sharpie. I'm like, yeah, room's definitely lit up. Found the Sharpie. Walk back, put the Sharpie to the wall, and the room goes black. Right as I was starting to write my first line. Because I was going to Sharpie the whole room up for like a Beautiful Mind kind of thing. Just like start, I got to see if they mean anything. But from that point on, I'm like, all right, somehow I was able to get up in my sleep and find a Sharpie that I threw across the room in the dark without tripping or hitting anything. Well, maybe I did. Maybe it was like... what was that movie where the guy drives the Lamborghini back and then he was like, yeah, it's fine. But, yeah. That could have been me. So I got no video proof of this. But anyway, so yeah, I've just gone to the theory that I have some screws loose, and they've been loose since before I had my first concussion.
Anybody else ever experienced that?
Like they've done studies on Girl Scout cookies where they break them down and find out what's in them. Oh, holy shit. They're fucking toxic as fuck. Thin Mints being the worst offenders. 5 flavors of Girl Scout cookies contained, back up, contained levels of glyphosate and heavy metals above EPA water safety limits. New investigation found 100% of tested Girl Scout cookies contained glyphosate, 100%. Controversial
100%.
herbicide and Roundup. 88% contained toxic metals like arsenic, lead, and mercury. Key finding, Thin Mints had the highest glyphosate levels at 111.07 ppb, 334 times what experts say is harmful. Peanut butter patties had the highest heavy metal contamination, with lead reaching 42.5 ppb and aluminum at 27,500 ppb. 76% of cookies tested exceeded cadmium safety limits, and 96 contained lead.
That's wild.
Girl Scout USA, which sells 200 million boxes per year, $800 million in revenue, did not respond to researchers before publication. I wonder why.
Respond.
I wonder why. I wonder why they wouldn't chime in.
But did you hear about all the
That's
weird
crazy.
fog that's been around the world?
Dude, everyone's talking about it. It's crazy.
And I'm like, is it actually weird? Or
Are
is
we
it
just
like,
are we all just paranoid?
This is Gen Z who doesn't go outside being like, what is the fog?
Okay.
There's fog like over here, but not over there. Yeah, I mean, that's sometimes how it
fog.
works.
People have never turned on a flashlight in the early morning.
What's a fog?
Like, man. Whoa, a fog, never met her.
We went to the beach the other day, though, New Smyrna Beach, and it was really foggy, which is not abnormal, but it smelled like
That's what a lot of
burning
people
plastic.
are saying is there's some fog that smells chemically.
It's not like we don't have the ability to alter weather or anything through.
Oh, you're not one of those people.
And when Florida came out, they're banning weather manipulation stuff, and it's like, what? When did we vote for you to say yes to that? It's like, come on, what are we doing? So it's like, obviously they're doing it. Of course they are.
What if they did like some like legal jargon to where it's like, vote yes for solar? It's like, oh yeah, solar, and like solar from the plains, spray chemicals.
Could be. Yo, you see the water?
was caught accidentally using her powers.
Wait, what?
Hello.
There we go.
Okay, but it does have. Oh my god! Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's all right.
I couldn't
What
do
was
that again if I tried.
One of the celebrities that played a witch recently.
Oh, Ariana Grande?
Yeah. Was on Hot Ones. She like had a chicken wing, dropped it, but people are saying she used like telekinesis when she dropped it because the chicken wing flipped, bro, and it like hovered over, and it still doesn't make sense to me.
Let me see. Are you sure it just didn't fall like a wrong way?
Watch it. What the fuck are you? It did a kickflip, Gavin.
Oh yeah, it did do a kickflip.
It did a kickflip, pop shove it. Nah. So this is what happened. Theory. She's on Hot Ones. She's not in the right mindset because the food's too spicy.
Yeah.
So she accidentally used her powers without thinking about it, bro.
Y'all think she used her powers or she just flicked the chicken?
So I know that all of our algorithms changed after they pretended that the stupid app was getting banned. But what I noticed with my feed is I was no longer seeing any news content. So I no longer saw videos on the fires. I no longer saw videos on, what do they call, the Dior handbags. Like there was no news content. There was nothing about what was going on outside. And so I only learned this a couple of days ago, how to get your algorithm back to normal. So I wanted to share because if I didn't know, then that means there's other people that don't know. So if you go look up Facebook's TikTok page, Instagram's TikTok page, and Meta's TikTok page and block them all, your algorithm will refresh after each block, but it will go back to normal. After I blocked all three, I instantly saw the fires in California. I instantly saw the Dior handbags. Like my algorithm is back to normal. So I just wanted to share because I know that people in my comments are saying they're no longer seeing my content anymore. They have to go search for my page, or they're no longer seeing anything that's going on outside, and I wasn't either. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta block the people that own the servers that we're now on.
I still feel like it's not how it should be. Do you guys feel that way? Do you feel like your algorithm is back as to what it was before the little TikTok ban? Or has it changed a little bit? I don't know.
There's a question going around of why Hawaiian Punch is never cold.
Why? Why is it never cold?
And there's this guy, the reason why it's going viral is because this guy like put hella ice in it, but it's still dry, right?
Yeah.
The punch is still dry. So this guy in his car, and he has a bunch of dry ice. He puts dry ice in the Hawaiian Punch. He takes the glass, and he's like, wait, the glass is cold, but the punch is still dry.
The glass is cold, but the drink is not.
What the fuck? So people are trying to figure it out, and this is what I found on the internet, but I don't think it gives the complete story.
It's too viscous.
No, real shit. It's something about
Is it actually?
yeah, viscous and the sugar level. So it's like the low juice content and tons of sugar prevent it from getting cold in a normal situation.
Oh, it's
So
probably less
much
water.
sugar,
Yeah.
But another guy also found out that there's actually more salt in a Hawaiian Punch than there is in like Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper. Plus there's something called sucralose that creates that like bitter taste. So imagine hella salt, hella sugar, and the sucralose all in one. That's why it probably always tastes dry. It can never get cold.
So what you're drinking is anti-thirst.
Yeah,
it's making you thirsty. No, like it's dead ass just making you more dehydrated.
Y'all's not gonna
That's
believe
crazy.
this. So they board us on the plane, and we're sitting there chilling. It's been 30 minutes. You know, we're thinking we're gonna take off. The plane people are telling us we don't have a pilot to take us nowhere, and that we have to get off the plane. So I get off the plane, and I start speaking to some people, staff and everything. I just found out that pilots are going on strike because planes keep flying out of the sky. So a whole bunch of people are just sitting up here at the airport trying to motherfucking figure out how they're finna leave. My whole thing is I understand the pilots, you know, how they feel, but why the fuck would y'all make us board on a plane knowing there's no pilot on it?
That is
So
weird.
now my ass is finna sit in Boston. I'm finna chill. I'm finna take myself out to eat, bitch. I'm finna pray, and I'm finna book another airlines. Cause bitch, Spirit's tripping. All the other airlines is falling out the sky. Like, y'all better please pray for me. Cause there's some real shit going on right now. And I think God is really trying to give us a sign. Cause this is not even, it's not even a joke no more. It really ain't.
That's crazy.
I notice when I drop these videos, no one ever mentions the video. They love to mention me, and no one ever explains it. Here's what they don't explain. We were told this light is 93 million miles away.
93
which
million.
means it takes the sun's light approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth from the sun. This is because light travels at a constant speed, and the distance between the Earth and sun is roughly 150 million kilometers. There's the explanation. This is what we were told, but does that make sense right now? Do you look at what's happening? Are you filming? Are you researching? Or are you just repeating the same shit that you were taught, the same programming that you were forced to believe, and now just regurgitating? If you are so confident the sun is actually that far away, why does it bother you so much when I doubt it? This is my footage, my camera, my time.
2, 1, cover.
With no pilot to compromise performance, even more unusual craft and propulsion systems have been designed and tested. This incredible machine was originally designed for missiles and satellites.
Yeah.
Just 12 inches long, gyroscopically balanced, and with thrusters at key points around its body, it is capable of instant changes of direction.
Cover. Cover. Cover tracking. Cover. Roll. Woo! All right.
No airplane could ever catch this machine.
Emerging through the changes and mergers was the lightweight exoatmospheric projectile, or LEAP program.
Terrier LEAP was developed as a demonstration phase only.
At the
Demonstration phase only. You know that's a lie.
One of the first original public clones was Michael Jackson.
What?
Yes. So if you take a look at Michael Jackson, right? Oh, he had plastic surgery. This is why they're making plastic surgery really popular, quote unquote, because they can basically deduce, oh, the celebrity had plastic surgery. It's not a clone, it's plastic surgery. That's why they look different, right? So Michael Jackson was their first sort of test run for cloning, and specifically the reason why they replaced him with a clone was because he was saying too much.
Yo, that makes all the sense. It's a drone?
There is a drone posted in the sky right there. What is going on? This is crazy.
Yo, that's a government drone. I got those lights on it.
Oh, it's about DJ Khaled. Diddy and DJ Khaled. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god.
No,
bro.
I haven't.
Oh my god, bro.
What were they up to?
So there's a video that came to surface because I don't know why it's going viral now, but it's DJ Khaled talking with Diddy, and people are suspecting that this is right after Diddy gave him the diddle. And I was like,
whoa, DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, bro.
We the best.
Look,
Gatorade.
look, bro. Watch this. First off, why are they in the bathroom?
No.
Second off, look how he's touching them.
No.
And look what he says. I'm getting nervous.
Why is he brushing his teeth? Why is he?
All right, why are you brushing his teeth?
He's holding him on the back like that, and he said, I'm getting nervous.
No, this guy's about to
What
give him
the
the
heck?
sucks, bro.
No, people are saying this is after.
Oh, this
is like, yeah, that's why he's brushing his teeth.
No, yo, why would they?
Yo.
Yo, imagine after a man gives you fucking dope, he's like, yo, he's gonna be one of the biggest legends in the world.
Because that's probably what the
that's-
deal was. Yo, isn't that weird though?
Yo,
Look, the first thing he said.
yeah, I said,
I'm getting nervous.
really. yo, what's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, like this, bro. What the fuck? Nah, and the fact that it makes sense too, because you would be saying all that shit after you just hyped him up. Pause. But right after.
Already doing it with the phones, man, and the apps and everything. You got to download. You got to consent to some. They already got you.
Okay. And then this area is closed for archaeological stuff.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's your older homie, Mr. Black, aka the South Mountain Guy. And check this out. I came out here. We are in the Valley of the Heads, where we found all the statues in the heads. I brought my geologist out here this weekend. Let me just show you what we found. Hey, people.
That's a nail.
So here we are. And according to my geologist, this is a hand that's buried. And there's one finger right there with the fingernail. And there's another finger, see the knuckle bone? We got a knuckle bone right here, and this finger's going down into the dirt, and this looks like what could be a pinky finger going down. Now tell me, people, is this a giant Nephilim hand? Is this a dragon? Is this a dragon? A dragon foot? Or is this something more prehistoric? Could this be a dinosaur foot? Once again, here's one finger with the knuckle going down. Here's another hand right here with another finger right here, part of the hand going down. Here's the nail. Here's the nail. The sharp nail kind of looks like a talon. And if you see, the hand looks like that. It's crunched up and it's in the ground. It's your older homie, Mr. Black, aka the South Mountain Guy. Go with Jesus. Peace be your journey. And remember, you seen it here second. Peace.
I mean, it definitely looks like a finger, and it looks like a fingernail. What y'all think?
Dude, you know what Nestle's doing? Oh my gosh, I'm getting hot about it just thinking. Nestle lobbies for mothers to have unpaid leave.
Wow.
Because they own formula.
That's interesting.
That's a bomb.
Go get them, ladies.
Also, if you look into just how they create chocolate, it is horrific.
And did you hear the owner said that water is not a humanitarian right?
What?
No way.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You don't have a right to water. You have to purchase water.
I think they purchased something. It was somewhere in Asia, maybe India or something. They purchased the land and the right to this village's water. They're using it for their Nestle water. Now the village can't get their own water. They get the runoff stuff that has a bunch of chemicals and bad stuff in it.
That's terrible.
That's horrible.
They took away their water.
No, they're stinking evil.
We gotta
They
get a
also
deep
are like
dive in
killing all the orangutans in the rainforest because of palm oil.
What's palm oil?
Specifically, men should not be doing like alternate oils. You should be doing like tallows and olive oil, like a rich, good, true olive oil.
You look like a doctor that or
one of those hip
holistic
doctors.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor, but I'm a cool doctor.
Take this piece off here, and put it over here. And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now, I did this with a major record company in New York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, "Now, Elliot, you've gone too far." I said, "What's your problem?" You can't do that with the map." I said, "Well, actually you can." He said, "No, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore."
It actually makes more sense like that when you think about it, because what do they call the United States? They call it the Western world, and then we call Asia the Eastern world, right? Or we call that the Middle East out there. That's what they say, but it doesn't work out when you put the map how it was before. But when you switch it around like what she just did, it makes a lot more sense.
I said the United States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize this depends on how you draw your map. And then I pointed this little fact out to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Even though it doesn't really look like it.
No, it is. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? Halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate. Well, you've been in Minnesota in the wintertime.
I've been in Iowa too. It's definitely
You know that it doesn't have a tropical climate. So you have to then introduce a real version of the map of the world. That's what this is doing.
Let's see this real version.
That's very good.
The Peters projection map. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted. Look at Greenland on this map. Right there. See it?
Yeah, it's really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look at it on the Mercator projection.
So why do they do that? I don't understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world, halfway between the North Pole and South Pole. Now, if you have children going to school and they're seeing this map.
Nah, for real, that map, that Mercator map is trash.
I think everybody finna slowly start going back to Androids because Apple.
I know Apple knows what it's doing because I went from an 8 that I still have, that's my favorite phone that I refuse to upgrade from, to an 11 that I'm recording on right now. And I literally only went to an 11 because they were making my phone have no storage, the battery life was sucking, and the volume has been going low on my phones. But I don't know what Apple has been doing because this phone right here, this 11, I have no storage. I have no ability. The phone moves so slow. So slow. And then you want to mess with my volume? Apple, count your days, mister. Count your days, buster.
Oh, snap. Check them out.
There's something wrong. There's something wrong. We've done something wrong. There's something, you're going to figure it out. Maybe it's a spray that we spray all over the place that nobody else does. Other countries don't.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, I'll probably kill him. He's the worst person.
Dang, you hear that? That's a wild claim. Colton Moore arrested. It has begun. What has begun? Do you guys know what has begun?
Who were fighting? When they were fighting in these wars, they were fighting for these buildings. Like, these buildings have been around for such a long period of time, and different people would inhabit them or take them, and then the people around them would fight them for them. And it just blew my mind because I found these pictures of castles where they just have moats and all kinds of things around them. And now they don't have any of that. And I started thinking through each fight or war or whatever it was of these different people, then all of a sudden things kind of got broken down. But it really started to make me question everything. And then I found one book which kind of blew my mind, The Boy's Book of Airships. And they were explaining flight in 1783. But flight was not displayed until about 1901 with the World Fair. So it's made me start to realize that a lot of stuff goes back a lot farther. There's nothing new under the sun. And the more I would explore this topic and just kind of, just pick one, like flight or materials, whatever, nothing added up. And I realized that because these buildings, when you walk into them, I went into a couple cathedrals in New York City. When you walk into them, they touch your soul. It's very hard to explain, but you get goosebumps and you can feel this building. And I found footage from that building from 1899.
How old do you think these old cathedrals or churches really are? Do you think they're just 100 years old, or do you think they go back thousands of years? Let me know.
I've been a flat earther for about 5 years now.
Why do you believe the earth is flat?
Our constellations, they literally circle us. If you put a telescope in one spot, or if you point it at the North Star and just fix it there, the North Star does not move. And our constellations circle us. If we were, this space rock spinning at these astronomical numbers through space, we wouldn't see the same star pattern. Compasses prove flat earth. We have two poles, supposedly, at North Pole and the South Pole. Why don't we ever point south? For me personally, I think it's a spiritual thing. I think they're trying to hide God from us because they have to be able to control us. It's all a mind control thing.
It really is at the end of the day, and those was two valid points.
They have successfully combined human genes with monkey genes and have started growing babies. But like they said, like Spain and American scientists are like coming to China to like observe it because it's illegal in pretty much every country in the world.
So they're like, well, let's get in on it.
The whole point of it is to grow them so that they could harvest human organs for transplants and stuff.
No.
So are you saying this is kind of like the technology that we talked about previously, like them just making humans, but they're taking the ape DNA and human DNA.
Yeah.
They're taking that same technology, but doing it with animals.
Yeah, and they successfully grew it, and the embryo after it being alive for 20 days because they're like, well, we don't actually know if it's going to have like a human brain.
It's a bad time to realize that.
Yeah, it's like, Wait a second. This monkey is going to have a human brain.
That's like an astronaut, his dream to become an astronaut. And he just gets in the rocket ship and he's literally on his way to space. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't even know how to run any of this.
Wait a second, I'm afraid of space.
Oh, no!
So technically they murdered these.
Michigan 2015, not Photoshop, but color enhanced to show detail. Oh, snap. Which I think that was.
Let's talk about the Met Gala.
It's the Bohemian Groves of fashion shows.
A lot of people are indicating that it has some ties to the Illuminati.
Ooh.
It seems like people that are all like the celebrities are all dressed up. They're like being initiated into this thing because you never see Beyonce at the Met Gala on the red carpet anymore, but she is inside already. But what I thought was weird, so every year for the Met Gala, there's a theme. The theme of this one was a ballad. It was called A Garden of Time. But this garden has these flowers in it that are called like time flowers. And at the beginning of the story, they're like walking in the garden and stuff. And all of a sudden he looks, and over the hill, he sees this mass army moving towards his estate. This army was filled with just normal people, women and men, not rich people. The whole story goes that he would pick these flowers, and every time he picked it, time would go back. But every time he picked it, they would advance a little further the next day. He eventually runs out of flowers to pick. By the time he picks the last flower, the army of people have gotten to his estate, but everything is in ruins. By the time people go to get the things that the elites have had their whole lives of all this riches, and by the time they get to it, it's all destroyed.
So I guess America just think that we stupid and they want to keep playing in our face. Again, another plane incident. So in Chicago, a plane is about to land. It's on the runway. It's landing. Guess what happened? A private jet out of nowhere goes into the same lane as the plane that is landing.
Oh, that's
Now,
crazy.
let me ask you this. We've all been on planes before. We know protocol, or we should know protocol. But I'm guessing they don't think that we know protocol. Whenever a plane lands, they call it in. They let them know, hey, listen, this plane is landing on this runway. Clear the runway. So I'm guessing that the private jet didn't get the memo. Now that plane that was going down that runway almost hit that private jet. It would have hit that private jet if it didn't fly back into the air. We have almost 90
That's crazy.
crashes this year alone. Did you hear what I just said? 2025 has almost 90 plane crashes. Somebody ain't telling us something. But y'all can let them play with you if you want to. They're not gonna play with me. I'm out.
Yo. That's crazy. Shout out to that pilot.
So me and my frat brothers have put together a list of some of the things the CIA has done to screw with the black community. Pop the balloons, parlays and scratch-off tickets, the Popeyes and Don Julio collab, LeBron and Hennessy, BBLs, crack cocaine, Sexy Red and DaBaby, Tubi movies, The Term YN, Black and Milds, Baddies / Natalie Nunn, Tyler Perry, DJ Academics, The Shade Room, Black Twitter, Galaxy Gas, and recent trap music. Those are just a few. I'm sure there's billions more.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Like, why do they gotta spray us? Who's really in charge? Like, what type of people want to make its own people sick? I don't get it. Maybe it's not our type of people that's in charge. Maybe that's my take on it. What y'all think, man?
They must think we slow out here. We just put, okay, No, dumb dumb.
Attention to something. Dodge the hijack, because these people think we're stupid and slow out here. Watch this. When was Black Wall Street built?
According to CNN, the foundations of the Greenwood District and Black Wall Street were built in the 1830s when African Americans first migrated to Oklahoma.
See how they keep calling you African Americans? Watch this. When was the Trail of Tears? 1831 to 1850. Oh, my ancestors, they had to walk the... Them ain't even your people, them my people. Stop lying out here, dodge the hijack.
Dodge the hijack.
Chased a wildcat until he caught it, then it was the other way around.
The story goes back further than the Indians. It's originally attributed to the first Roman army to enter Tartary. The soldier caught a Tartar and yelled out, and the officer called back for him to come in with his prisoners. And he replied, the Tartar won't let me.
Yo, they trying to let us know some.
Working in Antarctica in December, this is what their breath looks like.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that.
Take a look at this. I saw this magazine. It's See Bullshit. See that? See Bullshit with the Zika virus on it. Now take a look at this. If you open up this magazine, you'll see every single page says something at the top. It says at the top of every page, clearly it says C BS, as in bullshit. But there's one page in the magazine that doesn't say that. It's this one. It says life on top. And what they're telling you is that this is what you're living on, a flat earth plane, and that the sun is a disc. When you put that on your tongue, when you go into the church and you take communion, disc over it. This is the flat earth plane. You see it's gray because it's transgender. One side of a light hole is a black hole. And it's clearly showing you that Jesus places his light into the hole, and out from that hole comes the green astral light, hits the parabolic mirror, and showers down on you.
Update on New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
That's crazy. They knew all along. When was R906? Oh, snap. R906. What year is that, guys? Just magnificently built.
Fort Knox is one of the places, the physical places in the United States where we're told our gold is stored.
We're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
You know, members of Congress, almost all of them with the last name Paul, have been calling for an audit of Fort Knox for, just decades. And if you really press, it doesn't look like Fort Knox has been actually audited for close to 100 years, since the 30s. I think that's right. They said it was audited in the 70s, but it wasn't actually audited. Why is it so hard with a federal workforce, including contractors of like 10 million people, to just go through the contents of the vaults and weigh them and make sure that they're not gold-plated titanium and make sure they're all there and then figure out who owns them? Why is that so hard? We're told, oh, that's too complicated. Really?
I want to say after World War II, we had 18,000 tons of gold, official gold. And by the time we got to, call it 71, we were down to the 8,100 we have today. And
no way.
They've been stealing our gold, y'all. Trying to lie to us.
The reason that you don't know anything about money is because John D. Rockefeller created the education system. And if you'll recall, he said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So when he created the education system, he made it a one-to-one model. School is the same as a work day at the factory. That's why you go to your 8-hour shift, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Only learning things that make you a better employee. Just like basic math, basic reading and writing, his story, how to stay in line, and how to follow orders. Everything that a good employee should know. Totally neglecting things like teamwork, they call that cheating in school, critical thinking, outside the box problem solving, money management, investing, leadership, sales, communication, tax strategy, and the laws that govern you, and anything else that would be useful in the real world. So what we did is we created our own education system where we learn the things that Rockefeller teaches his kids, like estate planning, tax strategy, trust, insurance, annuities, financial literacy, and privatized banking. So if you want to join our community and learn the strategies that we use, comment the word banker and I'll invite you in.
Yo, we got to teach our kids something different.
As you guys could see, everything is being blocked off. But what you guys could really see here is that we have the military, we got cops, we have FBI agents. What do you think is going on here?
Right.
You tell me. They won't let us in our house. And man, this shit's getting fucking weird. Let's be honest. There's some different shit out here in Cali.
What's really going on in California? Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, they did it to the Transformer and they also did it to the Predator. Why they put dreadlocks on a robot? It's a good question. Looks like we're getting an $8,000 Doge refund checks on February 30th. What y'all gonna buy?
You guys seen the cartoon Invincible? It's on Prime. Listen to this shit. What he
I have
says
seen a
about
little
the
bit of
tap
this.
water.
Lights.
Alien heads. We've seen those before.
That's enough. Lights.
Listen to this shit.
What the hell just happened? Where'd all that go? The water America drinks so conveniently from their taps is laced with a chemical that inhibits the ability to see certain frequencies of light. Those frequencies are used in this room. So it's all just invisible? You and everyone else in America do not have the ability to see the things in this room.
What?
You'd be surprised how often we use this. Wow.
There you go.
To answer your question.
What? Stay away from the water, I guess. It's in the water. They say tap water, but then, you know, we got bottled water too, which is basically like GMO water. We don't even know what they putting in that water. They say added minerals for taste. We don't even know what's in that, what these minerals are for taste. Maybe they blocking light frequencies. Hey, we don't know. But it's like, what kind of water are we really supposed to get?
This isn't like just a joke. We're in front of Congress talking about this stuff. The breakdown of the different UAPs. So there's like the sphere, the orb, triangular UAP, boomerang, arrowhead, and irregular organic, which they said it looks like a brain with arms, like the jellyfish thing. Yeah. It's not a one-time occurrence. Like these are all very much reported on within the Immaculate Constellation. They have footage, they have video, thermal, radar, all that stuff. My opinion is that they're only doing all this stuff because they're setting the stage for a potential attack. But what I thought was crazy was, remember in 1561 in Nuremberg, Germany?
Yeah, the UFO war.
Well, the UFOs or UAPs that they described was every single one on this list. And the one that stuck out to me the most was the arrowhead one. 1561. Let me just read this from the 1561 Nuremberg thing. Yeah. Quote, many men and women of Nuremberg saw as an aerial battle out of the sun, followed by the appearance of a large black triangle object and combatant spheres falling to earth in clouds of smoke. The witnesses observed hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other odd-shaped objects that moved erratically overhead. It's the whole list.
I'm afraid of Jews. I'm 100% afraid of Jews.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Like, I was fed a huge amount of lies about Israel
Me
my
too.
entire,
The entire life.
You know?
Yeah.
They never tell you that. Oh, by the way, there were people there. They make it seem like it was just like they're sitting there.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the doors open.
Hours for the taking.
Like it literally, they forget to include the fact to every young Jewish person, basically, like, oh, by the way, there were people there.
He letting us know. He probably didn't even know he was getting recorded.
Something will happen to Earth, hopefully not soon, but either natural or man-made that would cause the end of civilization.
What?
So the probable lifespan of civilization is much greater if we're a multi-planet species, and ultimately even go beyond our solar system.
My boy didn't watch too many sci-fi films when he was a kid, man. He really believes this stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's a robot. Maybe he's an AI. He is the AI. What do you guys think?
But the first step is being multi-planet, Mars being the only realistic option for that. So I think from a standpoint of preserving the light of consciousness, and which I think we should regard as fragile, I think it's extremely important that we try to become a multi-planet species as quickly as possible.
Do you guys know about the Bolivia salt flats? This was an ancient sea that dried up. Now, for about 9 months out of the year, it forms hexagons, and the rest of the year it gets flooded with water and creates a perfect mirror. This area is 4,000 square miles long, and it's almost completely flat. Across the entire thing, there's only about 3 feet of variation in height. I talk all the time about how the firmament is a hexagonal lattice. Does anyone remember in Chicken Little when the sky started to look like this? Or when a piece of it fell down? And of course, we have our 3, 6, 9, 12 numbers for the elevation. In the middle of the flats, it's covered in giant cacti that grow up to 39 feet, 12 meters tall. In the book of Enoch, chapter 14, it's right after Enoch is raptured in Genesis. He says, I drew near to a great house built of hailstones, and the walls of this house were like tessellated paving stones. Tessellated, Tesla. And they were all of snow, and the floor was of snow, and the ceiling was like shooting stars and flashes of lightning. And in the midst of them were fiery cherubs, and their heavens were water. And then twice in Revelation, God says he hates the Nicolaitans. Could this be the elite that are trying to break the tessellating stone, the firmament? NASA uses the salt plains to adjust and improve the accuracy of satellite data. I've mentioned a couple times that I think that satellites are mostly there to monitor the firmament. There's always aluminum tanks on the videos of them. When I broke down what I think the sky ice would be made of, in order to make it a solid crystal, like a barrel consistency, all you would need to do is add aluminum. Why do all of these satellites have aluminum? Let me know what you guys think.
That is strange how they always show us these hexagon shapes. Anytime they show us in any type of movies or anything like that, some type of dome or any type of field like that, it's a hexagon shape. And it also reminds me of a pineapple. I don't know why. All right, let me read. Don't y'all find it a bit weird? Every time something bad happened in the world, immediately a show or movie describing that event almost verbatim would drive right after or before. The scary part about it is these shows be in production for months. What's a new show or new movie that just came out that's talking about the events? We had like Leave the World Behind, right? That was before. There's a new one out recently that literally just came out. And they're talking about plane crashes and all type of stuff. I forgot the name of it though. Y'all let me know in the comments.
So many of the people who get infected with measles, who get sick and need to be hospitalized, are children. So we're here at Covenant Children's, and I want to give you an idea of how this works over here. Somebody pulls up, even before they go inside the hospital, they'll actually get evaluated in this shed out here. They want to determine if someone actually has measles. They need to be put into personal protective gear and then taken inside the hospital.
We've had over 15 patients admitted here in our children's hospital with measles over the past several weeks.
Dr. Laura Johnson is the chief medical officer here. How do you even begin to approach as a patient comes in? What do you do for them?
Most of the patients who've been admitted have had respiratory issues, They've been needing supplemental oxygen and respiratory support to help them get over the viral pneumonia part that we see with measles.
It's one thing to treat these patients on the ground, but the key in the middle of
Wait a minute. Hold on. Rewind that real quick. Did y'all just see that? Hold on.
Viral pneumonia part that we see with measles.
It's one thing.
What's this over here on the floor? What's this little design over here? Do y'all see this? Am I tripping? Or is that a certain symbol that means a certain something? And why is it on the floor of this hospital? Maybe I'm tripping. Y'all let me know.
to treat these patients on the ground. But the key in the middle of a measles outbreak is to try and prevent more cases from occurring. That's really challenging given how contagious this is. Appreciate it. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. How's it going? That's the kind of the reaction we're getting.
Freezing weather and a measles outbreak.
Dr. Jennifer Shuford is the commissioner for the state health department. What do you think the next weeks and months is going to look like?
I think that we're going to continue to see cases, and what the next few months look like kind of depends on how effective we are at getting messaging out about, making sure that people get vaccinated, that they stay at home if they're sick, and really trying to push that message through really trusted community leaders.
You and I have been doctors for some time. I think me a bit longer than you. But have you ever seen measles before?
No. And I'm an infectious disease physician. Wow. I've never diagnosed a case.
That's incredible.
It's because, measles was declared eliminated from the United States back in the year 2000 because of the effectiveness of that vaccine. And it's only now with falling immunization rates, not just here in Texas, but across the country and around the world, that we're starting to see more of these outbreaks.
Now, while most of the cases have been in a close-knit rural community, worry has started to spread. Hello.
Hi,
how you doing? Hey, I'm Sanjay.
Amy.
Nice to meet you. You too. How's it going?
All right, this is Owen.
Hey, Owen.
Owen was a micro-preemie, so he spent the first 102 or 3 days in the hospital. And since then, with his weakened immune system and everything that he went through, we just don't know how he would handle the measles.
Amy and Eric Gandy have lived in Lubbock for 20 years.
And the good thing about it is Riley really likes getting shots, so.
Y'all hear that? She said, no, I don't. They laughed it off. She don't want to get that.
Now both their kids, 11-year-old Owen and 9-year-old Riley, are vaccinated. But that's the thing about outbreaks. Low vaccination rates can put vulnerable people in danger.
I mean, I think it's time that everybody, takes a look just at your political reasons or your religious reasons. Kind of think about that group of people and the new or the old information about vaccines and really take a deep look into what it is that you really believe and why you really believe that.
You just set this up. When an outbreak's happening, you say...
set it up this week.
Dr. Ron Cook is with the Lubbock Health Authority.
We've got plenty of vaccine, but we just need people to come get it.
You need them to come get it, huh?
And are people coming in?
They did 13 yesterday. 23 yesterday.
23, okay. How would you describe what's going on here?
We have pockets that are not well vaccinated. But these individuals, like in Gaines County down there, that come to shop here. We have Costco and Sam's and Walmarts, and they come here to do big shopping on the weekends, and they bring their kids, and they walk through Costco or they walk through these big shopping centers, and then they're exposing these people.
Yeah, so there you have it, Council. 124 children so far in Texas came down with the measles, and they're blaming the non-vaccinated people. You and I, once again, we're a threat to the people who have the vaccine. The same rhetoric from the Rona. Now they got all these sheep lining up to take more mRNA measles vaccine this time. But guess what, Council? They've been taking this mRNA measles vaccine. Measles was wiped out in 2000. The people who have been taking these mRNAs are the cause of the resurgence. The mRNA measles vaccine is what's causing the measles outbreak. You keep giving the people the same disease you're trying to fight. You're not creating antibodies because your mRNA is literally creating the viruses inside these people. The viruses fester and grow inside them and then spread. There are no non-vaccinated people out here who have to worry about the measles, just like we didn't have to worry about the Rona, just like we don't have to worry about bird flu or pig flu or anything you throw at us, because we are protected by the Most High and our immune systems are not shot.
Story of Laura Buxton. You ever heard of her?
Nah, who's that?
So Laura Buxton, she's a little girl, and she decided one day to write a letter, put it in a balloon, and let it fly, right? In hopes that somebody will write back to her.
Yeah.
So time goes by, and a balloon comes back to her, and the letter inside is to Laura Buxton from Laura Buxton.
What?
Yeah, so check this out. It's fucked.
How?
It's crazy. So she gets the letter, and it's from Laura Buxton.
Yeah.
Is it from herself? No, it wasn't.
No, somebody's trolling. Somebody's trolling.
So that's what you think, right?
Yeah.
You think someone's trolling. Now, the origin of the letter, what happened was the balloon ended up landing like so far away, but ended up landing in a farm.
Okay.
Now, this farmer picked it up, and he saw the letter inside the balloon, said, from Laura Buxton. He's like, what the heck? And he realized, wait, Laura Buxton, that's my neighbor. But it wasn't the same neighbor.
Wait, what?
There's another Laura Buxton that lives right beside the farmer, like miles and miles and miles away.
Yeah.
Now, it just so happens, this Laura Buxton, she has a dog, just like
the real Laura Buxton.
real Laura Buxton, the exact same breed, exact
What?
same everything.
Yeah.
Has a pet guinea pig, just like the other Laura Buxton.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Exact same. She wears the exact same clothes. She's wearing the exact same pink cardigan, and they ended up meeting. Yeah.
Wait, both the Laura Buxtons? No,
yeah,
right?
they ended up meeting because that they were wondering like, yo, this person is exactly like me.
Yeah.
So they ended up meeting face to face. Fam, they both came carrying their guinea pig. They both came wearing the same fit. They both came. They stand at the same height.
What the fuck?
And to this day,
Yeah.
they're friends.
Laura
Same
Buxton.
name.
But they don't look
They
alike,
look
right?
alike.
What?
Look, I'll show you. They look alike in everything, bro.
That's crazy.
Is that like a long lost twin, man?
So no, it's not.
Yeah.
But people are saying like that's just a glitch.
When was this discovered? Like recently or no?
I'm pretty sure
These motherfuckers are time travelers.
2001.
Yeah.
So she was 10 years old at the time. Look, this is them now. They're older.
Okay,
They're
they
older.
don't look alike.
But
it's
as
like-
kids though,
Yeah, let me see.
hold on.
But that's still crazy that you saw a Laura Buxton that looks exactly like you.
As kids though, they were looking alike. And when they pulled up together to meet for the first time, they're wearing the same fit and had the
That's
same guinea
weird.
pig.
Oh my God, look up in the sky!
Whoa.
Got a UAP sighting in Menifee, California. Oh snap! Look at the colors on it.
Okay, look toward
Oh my God, that is
Look over.
strange.
Look, east. Look east.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Do you see it, Mom?
No.
Oh, shit, you're kidding me. I'm on Marietta, facing Newport Road, and I'm staring right at it. It's
Dude,
red,
it's huge.
green, blue. It's going in
What the
circles.
heck?
Totally staying still. Now it's spinning in circles. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, I don't see
What the hell is it?
I'm in the middle of my park.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Look east, Mom.
I got such a good picture of it.
East is towards Hemet.
Oh, look west.
Whoa. Oh my God, dude.
You see it, Mom?
No.
Well, it's not far from your house.
What the fuck, dude?
It's not very high up in the air.
Is it a kite?
Oh,
A kite with
I'm looking.
A kite with lights on it, huh? That would be crazy if it was a kite.
it would be over like towards Cabotage Chicken.
Okay, I'm looking that way. Okay, I'm looking. More towards the sun, right?
what the fuck?
Oh, I know, but I'm looking straight over Kim's house.
Oh, okay, well maybe it's covered. You're gonna look more the other way, looking towards the end of the street towards Bradley.
Over here.
I don't see nothing. I don't see it, Kelly. So is it still there?
Yep, it's still there.
Are you stopped?
Stop.
What the hell?
It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It's got 2 wings on it, it looks like.
What's the lights doing?
I think it's a kite.
No, it's not. baby.
Yeah. Because look at the way it's floating. That's how kites float.
No, that is no kite.
They can make kites with lights on them, Kelly.
Richard, it would already be coming down or up.
Why? It's a kite. Kites stay up as long as you want it. If it could come over here, then maybe. But come over here. Go
He
fly
talking
away.
to it.
That thing is
Yeah. Well, send me a picture of it.
Okay, I will.
I got a video, a really crazy one. It's getting closer, dude. It's getting closer.
It's getting closer to us. Richard.
It's flying out into the street area.
Well,
Oh
keep
my
it
God.
going.
Yep.
Are you doing it? Okay, Mom. I'll call you later.
Oh my God. It's getting, oh my God, that's not a kite, dude. It wouldn't be flying way over here then. Dude. Fly away. I want to see it shoot off. Fly away. Come on, man. I want to see you fly away. Look at the red lights went off. It's just circling blue lights. It's weird. Oh, there they are. It turned red again. Green. It's like an eyeball. It's like the Egyptian eyeball almost.
Wow,
Did it just... Oh my God, dude. I don't understand. My mind is just like boggled right now.
What?
My mind is boggled right now. Like, what the fuck? I could totally see wings on it from my phone. There's 3 of them. 3 wings. What the hell, man?
It's a UFO!
Who are you telling?
That guy?
Where is it at? Oh my God, I can't find it now on my phone.
Oh, it's right there.
I can't find it on my phone. It's not showing up. Oh, there it is. It's a kite, babe. My arm's getting tired. Huh?
Was that a kite or was it a UFO? It didn't really move too much. It kind of was moving like a kite. I can't call it. Santorini 3-2. Okay, I'm guessing that's 2-3 2025. But what is it though?
ჩვენიდან 14 კილომეტრში. 14 კილომეტრია ჩვენიდან. ნელა ჩავიდა? არ ჩადის, ა? ჩავიდა ნელ-ნელა. ჩადის, ამოდის. ჩავიდა. არა ბოლომდე არა. ბოლომდე არა.
What was that?
წერტილი აქვს არჩენილი. რაღაც გემია. გემია რაღაცა. რაღაც გემია და აფქვევს. რაღაც გემია, ხო? კამარშია, ძმა. ამონსული ვულკანის კვამლი და იგი იყო მაგი.
What do y'all think that was? Is that AI?
If the Earth is flat, why doesn't this 15-hour flight follow a straight line?
Let's check this out.
The
Chile.
flight heads south and only heads towards Australia when it ends the continental territory. taking a good look at the road on the globe. See how the flight is approaching Antarctica. Although it's not flying over Antarctica, it's possible to see gigantic icebergs nearby, creating a beautiful landscape from the plane window. The flight duration is 14 hours and 30 minutes, covering 7,500 miles. Do you think this is the best route, or would it be better to continue straight across the Pacific Ocean right after takeoff? I await your response in the comments.
All right, bet. I got an idea why it flies that way. Yeah, even though I still believe the Earth's flat, it flies that way because it would be closer to land if something was to go wrong. Because you'd be right there by Antarctica, right? You'd be right by the land. So if something was to actually go wrong on a plane, you know what I'm saying? You'd be close to land. Maybe you'd be able to land over here instead of being stuck in the middle of the ocean. That's my explanation.
During the Renaissance, there was a revival of the knowledge of ancient people. And there was a profound belief that arose with a wide audience that subscribed to it. This was a belief that the entire spirit world, the universe, and the earth was one vast harmonic musical instrument, as is depicted in the celestial monochord. There was also a belief that the human body and mind was a musical instrument. And they often portrayed the human musical instrument as being a very precise and calibrated instrument that was supposed to be directly connected to and intricately put in place into the larger instrument. Which was a larger musical harmony of the spirit world, the universe, and the earth. There was this idea that your body and mind are sensitive and precise musical instruments that needed to be meticulously and harmoniously put into its proper place as a major component. See, this instrument here needed to be properly placed into this instrument. Where it would become a major component in this larger universal musical instrument. They held the belief that your human body and mind were to be infused and tuned into this great expansive musical edifice. That the human body as an instrument was originally designed to be a part working in perfect unity within the confines of this larger harmonic instrument. See, this instrument was an intricate part within this instrument. Pythagoras, now I'm going to quote Mr. Hall, quote, Pythagoras conceived the universe to be an immense stringed musical instrument called the celestial monochord, depicted here. Its single string connected to the upper end of heaven and its lower end to the earth. All things have a voice and are singing to their maker. Man fails to hear the melodies because his soul is imprisoned in the illusion of material existence. When man is liberated from the sense limitations of the lower worlds, which are depicted down here, then the music of the spheres will again be audible as it was in the Golden Age. So, you see, there were sages who knew that at a specific time was coming in the distant future in which this vast harmonic structure would once again be made apparent to certain people, and it would dawn within their consciousness of some. Then this music would be made audible to these specific people. So as they became aware that they themselves were intricately knit and woven into the very fabric of this vast harmonic structure, and as they took steps to reintegrate themselves into that structure, that they were originally supposed to be one with, but had become detached from down here. But evidently, as I am understanding this, sages and wise men back at that time, and even in ancient times, were beginning to get a revelation of this idea of a futuristic universal harmony, and they were beginning to catch a glimpse of what this creation would look like as one colossal, magnificent musical structure of perfect harmony that integrated and encompassed and contained the entire spirit world, universe, earth, and human body within its confines, all in one vast and all-inclusive harmonic instrument. And apparently Pythagoras and other sages knew that there would come a return of the music of the spheres one day, and that this would come to pass in a future age by becoming apparent in consciousness of the few, although it was always there. So a good way to explain this is in the illustration of a statue. Okay, let's say a master sculptor has sculpted out a masterpiece, and the entire structure is already there, but it is veiled under a veil, and there is a set and appointed day to unveil the sculpture, and that appointed day comes, and the veil is pulled off of the sculpture, and then everyone can see the sculpture that was already there. So in the same way, the music of the spheres has always been here. However, a veil has been over the mind of man, and sages have written down, carved out, so to speak, every detail over the centuries, and one day the veil of ignorance is pulled off of the mind, and man begins to see the musical revelation on the day of the statue's unveiling. The secret knowledge is revealed, pulling the veil off that hung over people's minds for centuries. Then, according to information I received, have read, there were certain ancient, knowledgeable, and wise sages that began storing away musical and harmonic information, the components of which would remain largely hidden until the age of Aquarius arrived. Then at that time, all of this ancient hidden musical knowledge would begin coming out of hiding, and the pieces would come together. But however, let's say, for instance, that all of this musical vibrational information came to a network of ancient sages. If you're these ancient sages, how are you going to preserve this knowledge for future generations? Because you studied the stars and you realize the age of Aquarius is coming, but it's not coming for hundreds of years yet. And you realize that you have some of the components of this knowledge that's going to be very helpful for people at that time. You have the knowledge of the vast harmonic structure, and you need to get this knowledge to people 500 years in the future or more in the age of Aquarius. How are you going to get all of these components to people in the future without the knowledge being destroyed by people that don't want people to get this information? Because you've looked into even further into ancient past. You're at the Renaissance, right? And you're looking even further back in time, and you realize that whenever sages from even further back in history tried to preserve this musical knowledge for future generations, libraries were burned, and others such as Pythagoras and his students were killed and their school destroyed. You realize that you're going to have to conceal this information away somewhere in hopes that one day, 500 years down the road, someone will find this secret compartment, obtain the info, and share its findings. That's one option, so you do it. However, there's a couple of problems with that. You have no guarantee that someone's going to find the information 500 years down the road. And if the wrong person finds it, they'll destroy it before its knowledge is given to future generations. If you release some of this information directly to the people and the public in plain language back in the Renaissance, not only may there be an immediate confiscation of it, but it may cost you your life. How do you get the information out there like a message in a bottle on the ocean of humanity in the hopes of reaching future generations in the age of Aquarius, when certain stars will be coming into alignment. It indicates that there will be certain ones ready at that time to receive and implement the information. So wouldn't you have to conceal the information under the guise of stories, myths, and parables? You'd have to get the information out there in a way that wasn't immediately apparent. And you would have to conceal the secret message in the paintings, in books disguised as other stories, or put the info in books with such confusing and intellectual language that it's hard to understand. You would have to put the information out there and quickly get it into the hands of mass audience so that by the time the church or the elite realize what the books are about, that even though they go about and seize as many of the books as they can, some of them have already escaped into other parts of the world where they can't be found, or they are hidden in private libraries and are sitting on shelves waiting to be discovered centuries later. Read the Starboard Quest book series. Hang on for part 2 of this.
The Starboard Quest series, huh? So do you guys believe that we, as a human body, are musical instruments in this musical world, or musical instrument of a universe? I don't know, man. It's something to really think about, right? Because there is a lot of old knowledge or old wisdom, I guess I should say, that was left behind for us, old books and things like that. So it is something to actually look into. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.